Well, how cool is that? Seeing whiting, ludrick, brim, the odd trevally right here at the boat ramp. It's so fantastic to be able to spot fish, but know that they're feeding because they're nose down in the silt looking for something to eat, and that's the time to fish for them. G'day folks, it's Ando from Boss Outdoor with this week's fishing report. And hey, while I'm here, the venue of your prawn captures is right here at the boat ramp. Along this jetty that I've just been walking along, you can have a torch and a scoop net and get them here on the run outside, or the sand flats here behind me, which is probably my pick. I was here a while ago and got some really nice prawns, and if you walk up behind the airport, you'll fare well up that way too, along all those sand flats. Just watch out for those stingrays though, they are up there and they are nasty. If you're on the boardwalk side, all the sand flats around there, you'll get prawns as well. And look, leading into the new moon this weekend, it's the time to do it. So if you've got a prawn net and a light, get out and get some prawns. It's so much fun. So I was just having a chat with my good mate Chris Dargan. He's just come back from fishing the top lake in Merimbula, and he's got his bag of flatties, so 5 duskies, which is great. He also got some blue swimmer crabs, so he's got a delicious feed today. So if you're getting up around the top lake, still plenty of flatties around. In fact, heaps of flatties around. A lot of the young guys have been getting up there, getting into it, throwing soft plastics. Catch and release too, which is good to see. Some good fish coming out of the top lake. So Saturday's really good, not a lot of wind. Perfect conditions for throwing soft plastics for flathead. I'd be trying around the edges, so all the drop-offs around the main channel, the false channel, and even on the other side on the western banks where the ribbon weed drops into the silt. They sit up in the weed looking for tailor, mullet, and all those sorts of yummy, delicious things to eat, including prawns, and that's where you're going to be able to intercept them. So if you're up in the top lake over the weekend, make sure you're throwing a big soft plastic around for a big flatty. Well, if you're looking for a brim this weekend, right here on the causeway, brim, ludrick, maybe the odd flathead. Put a bait out here and let it sit. Don't move it around. It's not ideal for soft plastics here. It's more of a bait fishery, so if you're looking at soaking a prawn or a bit of pilchard, not a bad spot to try. The other side's also very good for ludrick as well. Down on the fish pan side, there's a couple of anglers over there right now hooking into a few fish, so that's great to see. If you're after some trevally, I'd be going down to Bar Beach. So young Billy Hughes has been getting some absolute horses down there at Bar Beach, cracking trevally, and they fight. And that's a difficult place to shore base them because there's so much structure, cungy, oysters, rocks, weed, current. It's everything a trevally wants. It's everything a trevally wants. So that's the spot to fish. But it is a bit of an effort pulling them out of there. So you probably want to fish heavier leaders there, especially if there's some big fish around, and there are some kingfish there too. So make sure you're prepared for those. Well, kingfish, speaking of, out in the bay, Long Point. If you're going offshore, you're in luck because Saturday's weather is mint. Heaps better than last weekend, finally. The wharf right through to the tip of Long Point, there are kingfish there. Troll a live squid, troll a live yellowtail. You're gonna give yourself a really good chance of getting a half decent kingfish. I'm talking like metre plus. There are a heap of rats there. A lot of the rats are being trolled up. So if you're trolling a lure, a skirted lure or a small diving minnow, around that 4 inches in length, you're gonna keep yourself in the market for not only rat kings, but bonito as well. So the bonito have showed up, which is great. Heaps of salmon too. So if you're not chasing pelagics and you're looking for demersal species, push out down to the Hunter and around the Horseshoe. 30 to 40 metres on the gravel, mowies, snapper, nanagai, and even gummy sharks. All the charter boats have been doing really well of late, primarily catching flathead and many of them, and good sized fish. But if you want some of those reefies, hit that 30 to 40 metre zone. If you're after flatties, 40 to 45 metres. Well, here it is, the starting venue for the Merimbula float, and that happens on Australia Day, which is this weekend. High tide's roughly 7 o'clock, so you probably want to let the flow start pushing out before you commence your float. I'm tipping around 10 o'clock. You should get a bit of flow to get yourself moving way down to your destination, which is at Spencer Park. Now, these floats, some of them handmade out of all sorts of various contraptions. Most of them are bought. If you haven't got something to float on, come into Boss Outdoor so we can hook you up. We have plenty available. And basically what it is, it's just a fun event. All the families get involved, float away down there. Obviously you've got to be careful. It is a boating channel. You've got to make sure that there are safe sort of areas to float. If a boat's coming, you want to paddle out of the way, but it's good fun. Get down to Spencer, have a barbecue, have a game of cricket. I'll probably see you there. Anyway, back to the fishing. So, Jamari Schultz, he's a very good little angler. He works at Boss Outdoor, and he's been getting up early in the morning and having a fish off the rocks, getting some nice fish too. So we're going to throw to Jamari for an update on the rock fishing right now.
Appreciate the praise, Ando. Yeah, mate, like you said, I've been fishing off the rocks a few mornings in a row now. Heaps of salmon around. There's the odd bonito as well. You will have to fish through the salmon, but they are proper fish. I did get a few pinky snapper off the rocks as well. Yeah, the bonito are there. You just have to fish through the salmon. So what I've been getting the salmon and bonito on is hard bodies, such as this takumi here. Soft plastic jerk shads as well, usually in white. Seems to be what works best. You could also use sinking stick baits such as this one, and metals will work as well.
Thanks for that, Jamari. What a top report. I'll tell you, I heard another report the other day. Marlin, so many marlin. They're up north, but I'll tell you what, we'll cross the Leaf and Leaf's going to give you the scoop on that.
Yeah, cheers mate. How good is that action? Pretty much anywhere north of Bermagui, there has been multiple boats catching multiple fish. That one boat catching 16 or 17 in a day out of Ulladulla. Absolutely amazing marlin fishing up there. It's been a little bit slower out off Merimbula with a bit too much current, sort of 2 to 3 knots of current out there, scattering that bait around a little bit. Still a few fish around, but yeah, if you're going out, you're heading to Burmy or north and heading up there, catching some great fish. So yeah, heaps of dolphin fish getting caught at the moment too. The fish are being really good in size still, and plenty of them. So definitely worth having a crack for them. If you go past a fad or see some floating debris around, some good fish, like Trapman caught the other day, that was a cracker. So yeah, keep an eye out for them. Looks like pretty good weather all the way over the weekend, right through to the Monday. The long weekend looks fishable for big boats out there on the Marlin. So yeah, get out there and get amongst it.
Thanks, Leaf. That's fantastic to see so many marlin around, and timely because we have a game fishing comp coming up in Tathra, and I hear it's the first one in 20 years. So we're going to cross over to Murray to give you all the details on that.
Yeah, thanks Ando. Yeah, I'm Murray from the Tathra Fishing Club. This year on the 7th, 8th, 9th of February, we'll be running the Tathra Game Fishing Classic. This is the first time Tathra has run a game fishing comp in about 20 years. So yeah, if you want any more information, just jump on the link below.
Thanks for that, Muzz. So, deal of the week. With all those bonito floating around, you're going to want a weighted hard body. Takumis, they're a known fish catcher, and we're going to give you 30% off all takumis, providing you mention that you watch the fishing report. Well, that just about wraps things up for this week's report, folks. Now, hey, we love seeing what you're up to, out and about doing, and what fish you're catching. So next time you catch a nice fish, consider taking a photo of it in portrait style or a small video in landscape style and flick it to us via Facebook or Instagram. It could feature on our report. So if there's anything else you need to know about where the fish are biting, what bait to use, or what lure to try, come into Boss Outdoor so we can hook you up. And if you're enjoying our videos, be sure to like and subscribe.